What's good, Samurai Gang? Yes, we're back with another video, y'all. I don't know why we keep falling on this topic. I don't know why we do, but I guess we got to. All right. So my boy Spaz was like, "Yo, bro, react to this video. It makes so much sense." And judging by the thumbnail and whatnot, supposedly, we don't know if it's true, but Kurama probably gave he probably snuck in some power to Naruto with the fist bump. That actually makes sense. He probably could have. We don't know. We just speculated. So this is not true. It's not facts, but we got to see what Mellow XO has to say on that situation. If you're new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe to your boy, the curly hair assassin. Yeah, me. I am this guy. Subscribe to me. Let's check it out.
Oh no, you didn't read the title incorrectly. Yes, Naruto still has Kurama's power, and let me explain. Now, we know that Naruto and Kurama entered into a brand new form known as Variant Mode. Now, the mechanics behind this form is such, where Naruto fuses his chakra with Kurama's. This process is continuous, and it cannot be stopped until their chakra is consumed and they die. However, it turns out that Kurama was lying to Naruto about the outcome of using this new form, and he's the one that died instead of them both dying, or Naruto dying in general. Now, after Naruto falls out of Variant Mode, there is a significant period of time between when he does leave the form and when Kurama actually has his chakra extinguished. Ishiki's searching for Kawaki. Ishiki is threatening to kill Base Mode Naruto, and of course Momoshiki manifests to gouge out Sasuke's eye, and we need to see the whole resolution with that before Naruto passes out. And then from this point, he has an entire conversation with Kurama before Kurama's chakra is apparently extinguished. Now at this moment, you may be asking yourself, why is the time period in between when Naruto leaves Variant Mode and when Kurama's chakra is apparently extinguished so significant to me? Now I'm drawing attention to the passing of time because I believe there's something Kurama could have done, and I want to show and illustrate that he had enough time to actually do it. Plenty of time, in fact. Now what am I talking about? What is this thing that Kurama could have done before his chakra was supposedly, and I'm using air quotes here, extinguished? Now before I get to that, I want to mention that chakra is extremely weird in the Naruto Boruto verse. It doesn't matter how much is siphoned off of you, whatever portion of that chakra is separate from the whole, it is a manifestation of your consciousness and your will. We see this illustrated time and time again throughout the Naruto and Boruto verse. In order for them to become the Ten Tails Jinchuriki, Madara, and Obito, they needed the Nine Tails. However, a portion of the Nine Tails chakra was sufficient. And I also want to briefly touch on how energy is never really destroyed, it's just transferred into a new form. And when we're talking about characters in the Naruto Boruto verse, the afterlife is definitely a subject that needs to be brought up. Hagoromo can traverse space and time and literally interact with the physical realm, giving people who are alive his actual power. Apparently, Ishiki Otsutsuki can literally visit someone in the spiritual form, and when we look at a character like Obito Uchiha, he was literally able to pass down power from the afterlife to Kakashi. Indra and Ashura literally chose to just reincarnate, and so on and so forth. I can give you several other examples, but there's one in particular that works for the theory that I'm presenting to you all today. So if we rewind all the way to Obito's attack on the Hidden Leaf Village with the Nine Tails, we know that Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage, used the Reaper Death Seal to split the Nine Tails into two separate entities. He placed the Yang half inside of Naruto and the Yin half inside of himself. Now, of course, in the Fourth Great Ninja War, a dead Minato was resurrected. Within him existed the Yin half of Kurama, which was taken out of a dead person and placed into a living person, that being...
Oh, so I see what you mean. So... Okay, so here's my thoughts on that. Right, so Naruto probably still has it, but that's like you split chakra up, so like they're dead. Like I'm trying to make sense of all of this. So one, they're dead. So when Kurama split, when Minato split Kurama's chakra, he took half of it inside of him. Ayo, pause. He took half of it, not the full thing. Pause. You know what I'm trying to say. He took half of it with him when he died, right? But that's the host being dead, not the tail beast like running wild. So I'm not sure if it works the same way. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know if it works the opposite way of what we're trying to like do. I'm not sure entirely if it would work that way. Would it? I don't know. Y'all let me know down below. I don't know. We could only speculate. This is not facts. We could only speculate that this is probably true or not. I don't know.
Naruto Uzumaki. So yes, Kurama has been dead before. He has been resurrected before. This is a concept that exists with.
When has he died? The only time Kurama has, I don't know. Kurama has never died though. Like you took half of his chakra with Minato, so technically he wasn't really dead. Like I don't know no other point of Kurama dying, like besides him going like his chakra going to like the other world with Minato, but that's pretty much it. And then Naruto got the full hat, like he got all of Kurama's powers, so had all of Kurama's powers, so I'm not sure.
In the verse, but that's not even the crux of this theory. It's just something interesting to think about. Now, before Minato Namikaze's death, he placed a portion of his chakra and Kushina Uzumaki, Naruto's mother's chakra, inside of an infant Naruto. And as we've established from examples within the Naruto Boruto lore, it doesn't matter what portion of your chakra is siphoned off from the whole, it still is a representation of your consciousness and the entity that it originally came from. The only difference is it has a short period of existence. Once the energy is used up, it seemingly evaporates into nothingness, similar to what happened to Kurama. Now, in the case of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki, the portions of chakra that Minato placed inside of Naruto was set to trigger on a certain event, right? Their consciousness or energy or whatever was set to manifest under certain circumstances.
Minato embedded my chakra into the sealing formula, so I'd appear when you tried to gain control over the Nine-Tails power.
Now, I also want everyone to take into consideration that at the time Minato Namikaze placed these portions of chakra within Naruto, he was on his deathbed. He had just got done battling Obito and the Nine-Tails. This man had almost no chakra left. Now, also keep in mind that there's a significant time interval between when Minato actually used the Reaper Death Seal and when he died. I would argue that the time period in between when Baryon Mode was deactivated and when Kurama's chakra apparently evaporated is larger than what Minato had to work with. It's already established that Kurama knows the chakra transference jutsu, and not to mention that this was actually done onto him. So yes, this is something that he can do, he knows about, and he had the time to actually do. There is literally zero reason why Kurama would not place a portion of his chakra within Naruto within the time interval in which he had to do so, which was a great period of time in between when Baryon Mode was deactivated and his actual evaporation supposedly.
Oh, okay. So I see what you mean. That actually makes sense. I actually agree with that. But what happens if that's not the case? Like that's a great theory. Usually I'm like, I write off theories like, I don't really fuck it. But this actually makes sense.
And I'm not even going to factor in that Kurama initially lied about how the Baryon Mode worked.
You're right. So he probably could have just been like, you know what, let me just... But wouldn't Naruto know that he has some backup chakra left? Right? I feel like he would know. Like he would know, oh, I still got some Nine-Tail Fox chakra left. And I think when Sakura was doing the calculations of if Naruto still had any chakra, I think she said, I think you still have a little bit left. Like, or you're not as strong, but you still have some left. I don't remember. It was a screenshot that I took of it.
Lied once, he could definitely do it again. I'm not going to factor in that the tail beasts have a reincarnation mechanic built into their system, even though people want to ignore that because of the dialogue about his chakra evaporating. I'm not even going to mention the fact that energy is not destroyed, it's just transferred into a new form. So his chakra evaporating into nothingness is literally factually inaccurate. I'm not even going to mention the fact that Obito Uchiha...
But also, like, you know how things are, bro. Like, yeah, those are great points, but if they want Kurama to be done, like, and written off, they're gonna do it, despite what we think or what we feel, So it's a great theory, but if the writers and author says, hey, listen, no, Kurama's really dead, he's not coming back, he's not being reincarnated either, it could be a whole plot hole and whatnot. So it's like, yeah, great theory, but I don't know.
A person who's dead transferred his power from the afterlife to the living realm to Kakashi Hatake. I'm not even going to mention the...
Why you so aggressive with it? Damn, my boy. Like relax. Calm down. Relax.
fact that Ishiki Otsutsuki post-death was able to travel between space and time into a completely different dimension in order to communicate with code. I'm not going to mention the fact that how Hagoromo can do essentially the same things, travel through space and time to communicate and interact with people in the living realm. And we're not even going to mention the fact that Indra and Ashra literally just made the choice to reincarnate over and over again, to come back to life, and how that has similarities to what Tail Beasts do. Now also remember, in the actual scene when Kurama dies, he tells Naruto to not overdo it, otherwise he will be joining him sooner rather than later. Now, if Kurama's chakra is extinguished and he is a non-existent entity, he's not in the afterlife, he does not exist in any shape, form, or fashion, then how's Naruto joining him? This bit of dialogue confirms that Kurama's chakra does not fade into nothingness.
Okay, so Kurama's not completely dead, so like, if he's not completely dead, he might just come back not in Naruto's lifetime. He probably won't come back in Naruto's lifetime. He might come back probably in Boruto's child's lifetime, you know, maybe another 100 years from then. He's gonna, you know, try to do that. But I don't see Kurama coming back after he just died, coming back in like the next, like right after he just died. No, like all those points, like with Hagoromo, Ashura, Indra, like they reincarnated, right? Like years later, like they came back years later. Like this is the first time we seen Hagoromo ever. Like he came back like 100, like 50 years, like what I said 50 years, maybe 100 years, like 100 years later, like after his death, like he came like 100 years later. You know how many wars he could have stopped by himself with Madara wrecking havoc? He could have stopped so many wars, but he just let it play out. So it's like, I don't know, like I feel like they're like, I don't know, with Kurama it's like it's different because I think he's the the second Tail Beast to actually like die, and he's in the afterlife. I don't know, like the words are so confusing, bro. This is just my take on this. It's kind of confusing.
Does still exist in some form, like any other person who has died. Last but not least, this is so obvious, but Naruto and Kurama actually fist bump. Now, this is a physical representation of when Kurama gives Naruto a portion of his chakra. We've seen this a plethora of times throughout the Naruto-Boruto series. They could not have made this more obvious.
I mean, yeah, but then it's like, wouldn't he know that he has some backup chakra left? Like, if he did that, like, they would know. Like, I feel like he would know that he has some chakra left, right?
They wanted to. And here's a little visual detail that may have went over some people's heads, and it's understandable that it would have. Kurama did not start evaporating until after he fist bumped Naruto. So it's clear to me that...
So it could have probably be a coincidence that after the fist bump, he started to evaporate because he gave what little chakra he had left. It could be just off coincidence. It could have been just the moment. But I don't know, bro. That's just my take on it.
Kurama transferred his chakra, his remaining energy, to Naruto in that time, which resulted in him starting to evaporate because that chakra was going to Naruto, clearly. Now, much like Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki, he could have sent his chakra to Naruto and had it set to trigger under certain circumstances. Naruto may find...
That wouldn't make sense because he's gonna need, you know, some Tail Beast chakra. He's gonna need that. With the fights fighting people like Code and Ishiki with just Mystic of Age Sage Mode is not gonna do anything. Code is gonna wipe the floor, Naruto. That's not enough. He's gonna need more than that. Like, I feel like he's gonna need more than that. And if he could activate KCM, right, he's probably gonna have like a time limit or something. Or it could probably be like, oh, I gave you some of my chakra, so my chakra could turn into your chakra. So he could probably just flip it on like a switch. I don't know, bro. There's a lot of theories that could go into it. I don't know.
himself in a situation where he's on the verge of death. This may be the condition in which Kurama's chakra was set to trigger, thus manifesting his consciousness, allowing Naruto to use his power for a brief period of time. But that's the video. I didn't want to make this too long. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications, and like the video. Follow me on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, and Twitch at Mellow the Dreamer, and also think about becoming a Patreon supporter. It helps me provide quality content on a consistent basis.
Oh yeah, facts. Follow me. Add me on Patreon, feel me? Like, I got some dope artwork, feel me? Comment Asta, Naruto, you already know the vibes, yeah. You know, feel me? You know when you know. So, Mellow EXO, bro, that was a really cool video. But I don't know, I feel like certain things were coincidence, but, certain things makes sense for certain things to happen. But we won't know until, like, if it actually does happen. I don't know. I mean, that's just my take on it. Thank you, Spaz, for telling me about this video. I thought it was a really, really, really dope video. You want to see more? All you got to do is subscribe to the channel, feel me? Subscribe, smash that like button for your boy. So your boy Sue, and we're out of here, y'all. Peace.